Welcome to the deep dive. We cut through the noise, get straight to the insights that matter.
Yeah, trying to make sense of it all.
Exactly. And look, if you ever found yourself sort of weighing up cost versus value, especially with tech stuff,
Oh, constantly. It's the big question.
it really is. Build or buy, or in this case, self-host or cloud. Today, we're digging into something really interesting. It's the real-world economics of running your own data center at home versus, using cloud providers like AWS or maybe hosting her.
And the source here is pretty special. It's a super detailed blog post from Quan Nguyen.
Right. Our founder here at Skill Wanderer, he meticulously tracked everything, the costs, the benefits, the headaches of building his own home data center.
So this deep dive is really custom tailored for you, the listener. We're pulling out the key insights from Quan's journey.
Our mission, to uncover what it really costs, not just in dollars, but also in time, effort, and maybe those intangible gains. We want to help you understand the trade-offs.
It's all about those trade-offs. Okay, let's unpack this.
So Quan's big question was simple, right? What's this home data center actually costing him each month? Is it like a smart move or just a secret money pit?
Yeah, a fair question. And he approached it quite rigorously using standard accounting ideas.
Which I appreciate.
Wow.
He split costs into two main buckets. The upfront hardware cost, which he depreciates monthly, like a business would.
Over 3 and 5 years, he calculated both.
Right. And then the second bucket is the recurring monthly operational costs. Power, internet, that kind of thing. All converted to US dollars, just for clarity.
Okay, so let's start with that upfront investment, the hardware, because this is where you immediately see a key factor in home lab economics.
You mean repurposing old gear?
Exactly. Ingenious repurposing, taking something that might seem old and making it vital.
Yeah, like his main machine, the command center, is actually an old ThinkPad T480.
Old Faithful, he calls it.
Yeah. It's got, 8 CPUs, 32 gigs of RAM, a 500 gig SSD. Pretty decent specs even now.
Definitely. And its role is critical. It's the Kubernetes master node, the brain, basically.
Right, orchestrating everything.
Yeah, and it's also his NFS server for shared storage, and it hosts his databases, PostgreSQL and MySQL. Crucial stuff.
And the kicker, he already owned it. He was fully depreciated from his earlier work. So the monthly hardware cost for this key piece, zero, zip, nada.
That's huge. That strategic use of existing gear massively changes the cost calculation right from the start. It's not just an old laptop anymore. It's free infrastructure from a hardware cost perspective.
Okay, but he did add some new stuff. There's the Worker Bee.
Ah, yes, the Orange Pi 5 Plus.
Right, a powerful little single-board computer. Also 8 CPUs, 32 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. This one's a dedicated Kubernetes worker node, doing the heavy lifting for applications.
And this was actually a birthday present, wasn't it?
It was, but for the calculation, he valued its upfront cost at $350.
Makes sense. So depreciated monthly, that comes out to what?
Either $9.72 a month over 3 years, or just $5.83 a month if you stretch it to 5 years. Okay, so even the new dedicated hardware adds, less than $10 a month. Pretty reasonable. It's an investment, sure, but it doesn't break the bank.
Not at all. Then there's the basic networking stuff. A simple 1 gigabit switch, a few Ethernet cables for stable connections.
The essentials.
Totally. Upfront cost was tiny, like $11.56. So the monthly depreciation is literally pennies, like 32 cents or 19 cents, depending on the 3 or 5 year time frame.
Negligible, really.
And the router, his internet gateway, included free by his ISP, another zero on the balance sheet.
All right, so that covers the depreciated hardware costs. What about the bills that come every month, the operational stuff?
Okay, first up, electricity. This one surprised me.
How low it was.
Yeah, he estimated based on the maximum wattage of all devices combined about 70 watts total.
Which is probably higher than the average draw, realistically.
Probably. But even using that maximum, the monthly electricity cost came out to just $2.87.
Wow. That's less than a cup of coffee in most places.
Right. Powering a whole mini data center. Now, we got to add his disclaimer here. That cost is specific to Hanoi, Vietnam in May 2025 when he wrote this.
Good point. Vital context.
Yeah, if you're listening elsewhere, your local energy prices could be way different. And the actual load on the machines matters too. So your mileage may vary, as they say.
Absolutely. A heads up for anyone doing their own math. Okay, next recurring cost, internet. The digital lifeline.
Crucial.
He's got a 1 gigabit per second plan. It's shared with his home use, which is common. And critically, unlike cloud providers usually, there are no extra data transfer costs baked in.
That's a big one. Those egress fees can bite you in the cloud.
For sure. And he uses a clever trick, Cloudflare tunnel.
Ah, yeah. To expose his services securely without needing a static IP from his ISP.
Exactly. Saves him paying extra for a fest public IP address. That service costs him $8.91 a month.
Smart. So, okay. Hardware depreciation, electricity, internet, adding it all up, what's the grand total for the home lab?
All right, the moment of truth. Depending on whether you use the 3-year or 5-year depreciation, Quan's total monthly cost is running between $17.80 and $21.82 per month.
Get out. Under $22 a month for the whole setup.
Yep, $17.80 to $21.82 per month. Not too shabby.
Not shabby at all. That's incredibly lean. Especially considering it hosts his Skill Wanderer blog, a Moodle instance, databases, and it's his, personal tech playground.
It really is. What's fascinating here is just how economical this setup actually is for what it delivers.
It really is. And it immediately makes you ask the next question, doesn't it?
How does this compare to the cloud?
Exactly. How does this stack up against just paying AWS or someone else for similar resources? Because, let's face it, the cloud is the default for so many people.
Totally. So Quan did that comparison. First, he looked at AWS, specifically their light sales service.
Which is sort of AWS's simpler VPS
Yeah.
offering, yeah. Straightforward pricing, less complex than full EC2.
Right. He tried to find an instance comparable to his Orange Pi 5 Plus worker node. So looking for similar CPU and RAM, 8 vCPUs, and 32 gigs of RAM.
Okay, and what did he find?
He found a light sale instance that matched 32 gigs RAM, 8 vCPUs. It actually came with more storage, 640 gig SSD versus his 256 gig eMMC, and a hefty 7 terabytes of data transfer included.
Sounds pretty capable. And the cost?
$160 per month for one instance.
Oof. Okay, 160.
Yeah. So compare that $160 for just one comparable cloud server to his entire home lab cost, which maxes out at, say, $21.82.
That single light sale instance is, doing quick math, roughly 7.3 times more expensive than his whole setup.
Right. And his setup really relies on two main machines, the ThinkPad and the Orange Pi. To truly replicate that capability in light sale, he'd need two of those $160 instances.
So $320 a month.
Exactly. Which is suddenly somewhere between 14.7 and 18 times more expensive than his home lab.
Ouch.
Okay, wow. That is a stark difference. But to be fair to AWS,
Yeah, I gotta be balanced. That $160 or $320 includes things Quan has to manage himself, right? Electricity, the physical hardware, maintenance, the basic networking gear, it's all bundled in the AWS price.
true. Plus you get things like a static IP address included usually, choice of data center location, things that matter for businesses.
Definitely. So you're paying a premium, but you are getting convenience and some bundled services.
Okay, so AWS light sale is, well, pricey in this comparison.
Uh-huh.
What about a more budget-focused provider?
Yeah.
He looked at Hostinger, too.
Ah, yeah. They often compete heavily on price, especially introductory offers. What did he find there?
He looked at their KVM8 plan. Specs are pretty close again. 8 vCPU cores, 32 gigs RAM, a fast 400 gig NVMe drive for storage, and a massive 32 terabytes of bandwidth included.
Okay. Sounds comparable. And the price?
This is where it gets really interesting. Hostinger's known for those promo deals, right?
Oh, yeah. Low intro prices, commit for a year or two.
Exactly. For that KVM8 plan, if you sign up for 24 months, the promotional price is just $19.99 per month.
Wait, $19.99? That's actually slightly cheaper than Quan's home lab on the 3-year depreciation schedule.
Right. Initially, it looks like a winner, but,
Yeah.
and this is the big catch you always need to watch for,
The renewal price.
Ingo. After those 24 months, that $19.99 jumps up to $45.99 per month.
Ah, more than double.
Yep, suddenly it's 2.1 to 2.6 times more expensive than his consistent home lab cost.
Okay, that's a significant jump. What about their monthly plan? No long commitment.
Even pricier long term. It's $38.99 for the very first month. Then it goes up to $59.99 per month after that.
Wow, so 2.7 to 3.4 times his home lab cost, ongoing.
Precisely. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, that initial super low price can really hide the true long-term expense.
Absolutely. And if Quan needed 2 of those KVM8 instances to match his home lab's 2-node setup,
Right. On the 2-year promo, that'd be about $39.98 a month initially.
still sounds okay.
But it would renew at roughly $91.98 in a month, almost $100.
Okay, yeah, that adds up. And the true monthly plan for 2 would be even higher, like pushing $120 a month after the first month.
So, yeah. On pure long-term running costs, the home lab is definitely holding its own, even against the budget options once the promos end.
Let's recap those numbers head to head then. Home lab, around $18, $22 a month.
Right. AWS light sale for 2 comparable instances, Around $320 a month.
And Hostinger, for two instances, starts around $40 on promo, but jumps to about $92 a month on renewal, or even higher monthly.
The difference is pretty stark. But this comparison really highlights something important for you, the listener.
Yeah, what's that?
That the cheapest option on paper, especially initially, isn't always the best fit depending on your goals and time frame.
Right. And it's not just the sticker price, it's what's included or not included. Quan uses workarounds like Cloudflare Tunnel to avoid static IP costs. Cloud providers usually bundle that.
Exactly. And the cloud bundles maintenance, scalability, uptime, guarantees, things you pay for in that higher price.
Yeah, cloud providers handle automated backups, often as an add-on. They offer that amazing on-demand scalability, spin up more resources instantly.
Can't do that easily with a home lab.
Nope. And they manage the underlying infrastructure. Your focus shifts more to just your applications, plus you get that choice of data center location, huge for latency, and service level agreements, SLAs.
Right, those formal uptime guarantees. Quan's home lab. Its uptime depends on his home internet and the local power grid. No SLA there.
It really raises that important question. How much are those conveniences, those managed services, the scalability, the SLAs, how much are they worth to you?
Exactly. Because the cloud definitely offers significant operational relief. But it comes at a clear price premium.
Which is the perfect segue, really. If the cloud is so convenient, handles so much, why would someone like Quan even bother with all the hassle of self-hosting?
Now we get to the intangibles. This is where the real value proposition of the home lab comes in, beyond just saving money.
Absolutely. And for Quan, the number one thing, the crown jewel, is the learning.
Unparalleled learning and skill enhancement, he calls it.
Yeah. Designing, building, configuring Kubernetes from scratch, dealing with real networking, managing storage systems, securing everything. It's an incredibly rich, hands-on education.
You just don't get that same depth clicking buttons in a cloud console. It's direct, immersive, builds truly foundational knowledge.
And that ties into the next big thing, absolute control.
Total control, granular customization. He picks the hardware, the OS, the software versions, the network layout. No vendor limitations.
Which is incredibly empowering if you want a specific setup or want to tinker deeply.
And that process, wrestling with errors, tracing packets, figuring out why something broke, it gives you a much deeper understanding of how these complex systems actually work.
That kind of troubleshooting knowledge is gold, even if you end up working mainly in the cloud later. You understand the layers underneath.
Definitely. Then there's data privacy and sovereignty.
A big one for many people these days.
For sure. Just knowing your data is on your hardware, in your home, that peace of mind has real value.
And let's be honest, there's also just the intrinsic joy of building something cool, right?
Yeah, the satisfaction of creating something complex and functional, solving those tricky problems. It's a rewarding hobby for tech enthusiasts.
Plus, freedom from vendor lock-in. He's not tied to AWS's ecosystem or Google Cloud's way of doing things. He can mix and match open source tools freely.
And it's the ultimate sandbox. He can experiment wildly, push limits, break things, learn from it without racking up a surprise $1,000 cloud bill.
Oh, that fear is real. Forgetting a high-powered instance running.
Yeah. A home lab lowers the risk of experimentation dramatically, fosters real learning and innovation that way.
And this isn't just theoretical fun. His home lab is doing real work, hosting his Moodle LMS for AI literacy experiments.
Right. The Skill Wonder WordPress blog itself, which is the source for this deep dive.
Developing his custom portal page, it's enabling tangible projects and future open source tools he plans to release.
That ability to just build and deploy without constantly thinking about metered costs is liberating. Plus, the hardware itself retains some value, can be repurposed again later, like that ThinkPad.
So the takeaway for you, the listener, it's way more than just a server. It's a powerful learning engine, a platform for creation.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Always. The other side of the coin, the reality check.
Sweat equity, the hidden efforts, what Quan calls the time tax.
And that time tax is arguably the biggest cost, even if it's not on the monthly bill. We're talking hours and hours spent on research, setup, config, troubleshooting.
Updates, security patching, ongoing maintenance. It's a significant time commitment.
Yeah, the complexity is real. You're managing everything. Infrastructure, storage, networking, orchestration.
And when things go wrong, the buck stops with you.
Yep. No support ticket to file. You are the sysadmin, the network engineer, the troubleshooter, uptime, reliability, security. It's all on your shoulders.
There are home internet hiccups. Your power goes out. Your services are down, period.
And security is a constant job. It's not just set and forget. Tools like Cloudflare Tunnel help, but you need to be diligent about patching, firewalls, understanding potential threats.
Plus the physical stuff people forget. Where do you put it? What about noise, heat, power draw? Even if low, is still a factor.
And it's definitely not always glamorous. There will be moments of intense frustration. Quan admits that. Anyone who runs a home lab knows that feeling.
But hopefully followed by the triumph of fixing it.
Hopefully, and things like backups and disaster recovery. In the cloud, it's often a checkbox. In a home lab, you have to design and implement that strategy yourself consistently.
So it really forces you to ask, right? Is that time investment worth the benefits for you? It's a deliberate choice, not just defaulting to the cheapest option.
Exactly. It's a personal calculation balancing those amazing intangible gains against the very real effort required.
Which brings us back to the final question for Quan himself.
Uh-huh.
After laying all this out, is his home data center actually cost-effective for him?
His answer for his specific situation and goals is a clear, resounding yes.
Okay, why?
Well, first, the financials work long term. That low, predictable monthly cost undercuts the cloud significantly after promos, making it sustainable for his personal projects and skill wanderer initiatives.
So the money side holds up, but you said the main thing was learning.
Exactly. For him, the primary ROI isn't dollars saved, it's the massive and ongoing learning. Those practical skills in Kubernetes, Linux, networking, security, that's the real payoff. He sees the time tax as a willing investment in deep expertise.
Like a personal, continuous tech boot camp.
Pretty much. And the lab is a powerful launchpad. It enables his AI literacy work, the blog, future tools. That freedom from metered billing fuels his creativity to just try things.
And he values that absolute control too, right? Tailoring it exactly how he wants.
Pushing boundaries, innovating in ways that might be restricted or expensive in the cloud.
But, and this is crucial, he stresses this isn't a universal recommendation.
Not at all. His yes is deeply personal. It's based on his circumstances living in Hanoi in May 2025. His tech background, his specific learning goals, his willingness to invest the time.
Right. For someone else listening, maybe someone running a business where uptime is critical, or someone who just wants ease of use and minimal hassle, or someone who needs instant scalability.
For them, a managed cloud service, despite the higher cost, might be far more cost-effective overall because it saves them that huge time investment and reduces operational complexity.
Yeah, there's really no single right answer here, is there? It's all about your priorities, your goals, your tolerance for tinkering versus paying for convenience.
Obviously, it depends what you value most.
You got it. So this deep dive into Quan's home lab economics really drives home that choosing between self-hosting and the cloud. It's way more than just comparing monthly bills.
It's a nuanced decision. You're balancing the financial costs against convenience, against learning opportunities, control, and, yeah, crucially, your own time.
Which leads to a final thought for you, our listener, to maybe mull over. Consider your own projects, work or personal. What's your calculation? Where do you fall on that spectrum between valuing the time tax of deep learning and DIY control versus paying the cloud premium for convenience and managed services?
It's a great question. What hidden costs like your time or intangible gains like deep learning or total control are you prioritizing in your own tech journey?
Exactly. Really think about your unique goals, your skills right now, and how much time you're genuinely willing and able to invest when you pick your infrastructure path. There's no wrong answer, just the right answer for you.
Well said.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep learning.
And keep asking those burning questions.